What do you think is the one significant thing that you've done that drastically changed the trajectory of your career upwards?
I wouldn't put it down to one thing.
Mm.
It's never been one thing. I
Okay.
think it's several
Chain
things. Yeah,
reaction.
it's several things working together. I think
Mm.
yeah, it's not one thing.
Give
Uh,
examples.
so I attend a lot of events and tech events. Whatever I see, I just register.
Mm.
Whatever course I see on Udemy, I just study.
Mm.
Whatever I see, I'm just interested. I just do it. It might not make meaning to me at that point,
Mm.
but over the years,
Mm.
it then so in trying to break it down and trying to pick several, I think I would say the what do you call it when you are seeking for knowledge or you're seeking for you just want to
Growth.
growth,
Yeah.
yeah, and just trying to understand several topics. I mean,
Mm.
I by the way before then,
Mm.
and this is going back to so my dad working on he read a lot. I
Mm.
think I took that from him. My dad had a lot of books,
Mm.
Christian literature, economics, health, everything. He had it. Civil engineer. He was a civil engineer, but economics, accounts. My dad, he just buys those books.
Mm.
So I stayed 4 years before I gained admission. I did 3 years. No, I did 3 years in at home. I would teach.
Mm.
I would come back home. I read almost all those books. I
Mm.
read all those books. He had books. I mean, Christian literature, Oedipo, Breaking Financial Hardship. This. I would. There was nothing I was doing at home. Then I would read the fiction, Reader's Digest. He was a
Mm.
member of the Reader's Digest, so we had a lot of novels. I think because of boredom and in Warri then we only had one TV station, and they start at 4 o'clock.
Mm.
So it's like, what am I doing with my life? So I was just reading, and that was when I even finished the Bible almost,
Mm.
except Ezekiel, those tough parts, Revelation, Ezekiel, that I didn't really understand.
Yeah.
But I was just reading everything. I was just
Mm.
consuming. I'm sure if there are some crazy books that would turn my head upside down, I would have read them.
Mm.
So, but luckily enough, he had some good books, business books, and then I think gradually those they helped me
Shift your
and shift
mindset.
my shift and maybe not not the mindset, but it was just stored somewhere in my brain. And then when you ask me questions, I just somehow when I answer, I'm wondering where did I learn it from? I can't
Mm.
remember. But then it's just those information. I'm sure it's just storing
Yeah,
somewhere, and then when I
someone
need it,
it just comes up.
it starts popping out.
I remember that when I used to live in Maryland, there used to be a guy that sells books, and I would every week, I'll buy a new book. And at some point, it was like, "You've not bought books in like a month," and I was
Mm,
like, "All the books I've read, I've not done anything with them."
mm,
And I remember him telling me like, not because he wants to sell. Like that day, he gave me a free book. It was like not because he wants to sell, but it was like one day it will make sense to
yeah.
you,
Mm,
everything you've taken in. And this just really like
yeah.
juggled my memory because that day, because I remember I took a book that he gave me for free, and I'm like, how did you give me the book for free? Because it was like you're one of my favorite. You're very young, but you're always buying books and you're
Mm,
always reading.
mm.
And I was in that place where I didn't even know what I was doing in my life. And I was just upset and I didn't want to buy any book anymore. And it was like, no, when the time is right,
Mm.
everything will come
Come together
together
and yeah,
and make sense to you. So now that I think about it, I'm like, thank you to that
yeah,
guy.
yeah. And when you talk, I also remembered, and I reached out to him. I looked for his information. He's a guy. He's based in Lagos, but I've not had time to meet him. I think that guy also key to that change. I think just God brought him
Mm,
for me. So I started this tutorial center. I had a friend called a neighbor and a friend. So we go together. I didn't know I was good in maths.
mm,
Not until I'd graduated from school. No, I was in SS3.
mm,
That was when I knew I was good in maths.
mm,
I never knew till SS3. Like I would struggle. Maths was just an average student
mm,
until a guy called Goodluck,
mm,
tutorial teacher, opened my mind. Physics and maths.
mm.
I did A1 in math, like in physics. Me, how? How? Like it wasn't. I mean, I was. I mean, I didn't like chemistry and biology from day one. I never liked laboratory,
Mm,
anything, cut rats, cut cockroach. I'm not interested.
mm,
Or pipette. As I was always putting that in my mouth, acid base. I never liked it. But you see, the maths and mathematics, this
mm,
guy opened my mind completely.
mm,
And then I became so good
mm,
in maths. Like even you know, when I was writing NECO and WAEC, I was sitting on my, I didn't even bother about because then we want to be, oh, he's sitting close to me. But they put us based on our seat number. So in the fear when you sit with someone, you're like, "Yeah, I hope this person knows so and this, or even will this person even show me?" My own maths and physics, I didn't really care. I just sat down. I still remember that moment, and I asked people questions, so they've shown I mean, I've met him, I spoke to him on LinkedIn. We're supposed to meet sometime, but we've not. But I still owe him that because I think there are some humans that might not know, but they kind of impact you in some way. And I think what that guy did was he improved my brain, the way I think about things and I receive things. Yeah.
That's amazing. That's
Yeah, so
amazing.
I was also, when he said things that changed, I think he's also
Yeah.
a part. He played a major role.
So, if you could advise your younger self then who was uncertain but had ambitions, what would you say to him?
Dream big
Mm.
and go for it. I mean, take risk. I mean, there are lots of things I would have done if I took risk. I appreciate where I am, but I also feel I would have done better if I took certain risk. I think that risk factor, yeah, I didn't have that. I mean, I wasn't trained to take risk. But then, yeah.
But are you taking your risk now?
Yes, I'm taking certain risk now. I mean, it's not. It's. I wish I could do those earlier, but yes, I'm taking.
What is the thing that changed that thing for you where you went from someone who doesn't take risk to beginning to take risk? What's that? What changed?
Believing in yourself. I think it's down to believing in your qualities, right? That I can do this. So it's a case of, how do you put it now? Say you want to switch jobs, right? You can be very comfortable in a certain space, but then you know where you're going to. Maybe there are uncertain things you are not sure, but then you plan it well to see what the advantages are, the disadvantages, and then if you think it's more, and then you're like, yeah, maybe it's because I'm also single, so I can take. I mean, because if you are married with kids, that risk, I mean, you need an understanding wife,
Yeah.
a family before, but then it might just be good to be single and do all take all the risks you have to take now, because there'll be a point where you really can't take them, and you need to sort things out.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Going to being single and being married, how are you enjoying your singlehood now, and how are you maximizing it before you then have to go into marriage and then begin the duty of marriage?
Mm, was it you? I said I'm enjoying my life now,
Yeah, it was me.
right? I think I'm at the point where I'm also thinking of marriage, but then I'm like, just enjoy this. Like, you can do several things
Yeah.
in being, and not like marriage is a bad thing. I think you can still do it, but it's just saying if you have the right person that thinks, okay, take this risk, and then okay, we'll walk through this together. Take this risk, go do it. Yeah, I think I'll most likely marry someone like myself. I just risk take, just take risk and get things done. I would say for now, I think I'm liking the space I am in or I'm at. But then I think if you get the right person, it will help, right? Yeah. So it's not a case of getting married and then everything drops. I think yeah.
Yeah. I like that. To write on what you said, you told me a couple of days ago, you're like, I'm in the happiest season of my life.
Yeah.
Can you expatiate why that is and what is like just give because for me when you said that, I was just so happy that and you didn't just say it and just drop it, but you had a big smile on your face. And I've known you for more than 5 years now. I don't think that
You
I've
see,
seen that
smile.
smile. Like
Yeah.
you always smile,
Mm,
but you said that with so much conviction. Tell
mm.
me about that.
Because I think now it's. I know people say, "Oh, you've done this, you've achieved this," but I don't think I've proven myself yet. I think now is the point where I feel like I want to really bring out myself. So there's risk to it. I mean, I didn't really care about it. I'll just go for it. And I'm at that stage where I feel I'm entering a new level or a new space where things will happen so fast. Like it's just going to come with speed. I think I'm seeing it, I'm sensing it, and I'm excited about what I want to do, where I'm at. I'm just excited about that. I mean, 2025, I also told my, I mean, in things I want to do, I just want to go for it. and I'm quite happy about it. And I think even people coming my way has been aligned towards that. So it just feels just go for it, just do it. And yeah, it's not about making money. It's just about getting results.
The growth that comes with
The
it.
growth that comes with it, and I think I am super excited about
Yeah.
that. Yeah.
Does this happiness have anything to do with outside of work?
I mean, it's not necessarily outside of work, right?
Yeah.
I think it's mostly. I think it's a mix of everything. I mean, I told myself I want to travel more this year. I want. I mean, I've been
You already
traveling.
travel a lot.
Yes, yeah, but I want to travel for myself mostly
Okay.
this year. I want to
Right.
meet new people.
Yeah.
He told me about a conference. I was just excited. I'm like, let's get it done. Let's
We're
get it done.
going
Like,
to Qatar.
I just want to meet people. I want to switch up. I want to meet. Like, for me, it was just a case of trying
New things.
traveling more. I told you I want to dance salsa. I want to. I mean, I learned. I started. I just want to do something. I just want my life to be unique. Like, I want to enjoy my life. Sign up for a golf call. I mean, golf to a golf club. I've been thinking about all of this. Yeah, and gradually I'll get to do all of them.
I think that your happiness comes from within because you're finally giving yourself the permission to live fully.
Yeah, that's the word. So it's me giving myself, Michael, you know what? Leave. Yeah.
I know. I just wanted to make sure that you knew that was what it was because I'm like, it can't possibly be only work. That's the smile you had and the conviction you had was not oh, I have this new role that is global and this and that. The smile and conviction you have was, I know that smile. You have something has shifted inside of you.
Yeah, there's been
Something has shifted inside of you, and I love it for you because I know how much you have, for lack of better word, played small. Like you are too talented, too kind, you're one of the kindest man that I know. You're one of the
I don't know, should I cry?
You're one of the sweetest guy that I know. I literally was telling my friend the other day, I'm like, Michael is such a sweet guy. And then we're talking about like relationships and stuff, and I'm like, look, I'm gonna grill the girl myself. I'm gonna grill the girl myself, like, and I feel like you deserve the absolute best. And I'm glad that you are now giving yourself permission to do a whole lot more than you contained yourself to previously. And I can see the happiness that comes from that.
I want that. Yeah. I think this is the time I would impact lives more and just explore, do a lot of things. Yeah. I'm saying it. I'm saying it's so strong.
I know, because dude, you've worked with Jababa, you've worked with BBC, you've worked with Mdundo, which other companies, all those big companies you worked with?
Guardian. Just those four.
But it's not as if you just worked there very casually. You held like leadership, or you had like massive responsibilities, and people don't know about you.
I'll try to do better this year. Post more on LinkedIn. I'm not usually, I don't like attention. But I think this time, this year, I want to do it. I'm usually even this that I'm doing, like you never see me in doing it. I will just run away.
No. Only I have the what's it called?
The power to drag you. Yeah, but I'll do more of this. I want to do more. I want to speak to people. I want to speak at events. Maybe I don't know. I'm hoping I can do that.
Baby steps. You're doing a good job already. Baby steps. I wanted to ask, what is your faith like? You told me about your faith, how you were raised in a Christian home and all of that. What is your faith like these days compared to what it used to be? Is it still the same? If it's still, what is it like? If it's changed, what is it like? And if there is anything that has come with the change, what exactly, what have you learned with your context of faith over the years?
I think I would say I'm more spiritual now. I would say in this past, in 2025, I've been more spiritual than I've ever been. Even 2025. I go to church. I join the workforce, do this in different churches. But I've also come to realize, for my benefit and for me to be what I think God wants me to be, it's a case of knowing God for me, like knowing God because I want to know God. So very recently I struggled a bit, and I think the reason I struggled was down to, I think the decision I made, or I mean, or what I have become now is not believing God more than believing men for me. So it's me getting a revelation of God for me. Because at the end of the day, if rapture happens, if all this happens, say we are going to account. He's not going to ask my pastor about, it's me. If I'm going to account for anything, I have to be accountable, right? I have to give reasons, I have to explain myself. So I think it's me knowing God for me, and it should be convincing enough. So do I believe in God? 100%. Do I believe in Jesus Christ? 100%. But I think I've gone through the scriptures and I've read, and I've tried to read because I want to learn for me, for my personal self, and not because a pastor taught this or a pastor taught that. So in other words, what I'm saying is I don't think I belong to a denomination. I want to be able to attend any church. I want to be able to listen to anyone. Because I'm a Christian, we're under that body. And we say we are under the body of Christ. So if you are out there, whether you are CAC, CCC, TCN, and Deeper Life, we are all one body of Christ. So I want to be able to listen to people around and not feel I'm in an advanced setting, or I'm in a different setting, or a sect within that church Christianity space. And for me, it's just trying to get away from all this Pentecostal, Catholic, this paparazzi. Just everybody calm down and just be like, I love God and I love Jesus and I love the Holy Spirit. And if I read my Bible and this is being revealed to me, then this is the path I want to take. At the end of the day, if my job is to win souls, I will go and win souls out there. I don't need to be in any church. I win a soul, find a church, go there. I win a soul, find a church, go there. And I do that, and I think I can still show my love for God. I don't need to be in any denomination. And I think I'm trying to move away from that denomination space, because I think in Christianity, one of the issues we have now is you could tell that even within the Pentecostals, everybody is just different, right? And for me, it's not the case. If I'm in the body of Christ, it's just one body. Let me just do what that body needs. Whether you are in whatever parish or whatever, it's not a competition. So I think I've moved my head from that space, and I'm trying to be me, to know God for me, and God revealing himself to me, and me doing what he wants.
I love it. I love that for you. What does a genuine friendship feel and look like for you?
It's not like I've had a lot of friends, but I think genuine friendship is, I think you can tell people who have impacted my life positively. There are very few. You're one of them. Positively, people have told me hard truths. I see them as friends. The closest people to me, two of them, very close, are guys. Even before I make a decision of switching jobs, I'll talk to them. Before I make it, I'm sure before I marry, I'll talk to them. Before I make certain decisions, I just pick their brains. Dude, and they are very different. So those two. And the reason I say this is, and why I don't keep a lot of friends. Yes, I know my upbringing, but growing up, when things turned, when my dad had a lot, he had a lot of friends. So we grew up in Warrior, of course. So his friends, family friends, people within the family relations, they come almost every night and they go drink beer. And my dad pays. At this time, my mom was in the hospital. After the accident, she was paralyzed, and he was spending every day, and then he was also spending his money on
Others.
Friends. They come to him. In my home, we had a 5-bedroom flat. We're close to, outside of the kids, I'm sure we're like 13 others. My dad would just see, okay, just bring your son, let him come. He's going to send him to school. They live in the house. So my home was very big, was large. When everything, let me use the word caputed, just using that phrase, that word, they all left him. And I was just so careful of people. Like, how can people be this wicked? I now started before I even come to my space. I can already tell if I see a Wonderwood that is just there for.
Mm,
I can tell. Even now, I can tell. I can sense it.
mm,
This one is just there for what they will get from me. There's no
mm,
value. So I
mm,
think if you ask me what I want in friendship, I think is that value back. Tell me things, and then I mean, I'll just align
mm.
to you, and then yeah,
I think it's both a good thing and a bad thing. I feel like it traumatized you.
it did.
I'm so sorry about that. I feel like it traumatized you, but it's also the good that it also gave is being discerning when it
Mm,
comes to having people as friends.
yeah,
Yeah, and I think it's both a good and a bad thing.
yeah. I mean, I have friends when we go out, they drink alcohol. Like,
Mm,
dude, let's go out. I mean, they drink, but I will just make sure in that space we're having an important conversation.
mm,
I mean, not like they drink alcohol, they're bad. No,
mm,
I think yeah, growing up, I just thought anyone who drank alcohol
yeah,
was that kind of person.
yeah.
Like, was just wasting
And you
away.
had to unlearn
I
that.
had to unlearn that and just understand alcohol is not. I mean, it's alcohol. Like
Yeah.
it's only how you behave. I mean, how it impacts and affects you.
Mm,
And then we just go out. So I mix. I have friends in different. I mean, we go out. They do drinks. I mean, I'll just do my apple juice. But I mean, sometimes I taste the red wine.
yeah.
If there is. But then it's a case of me within that setting. We just discuss something. I just make sure we come up with so that time is not wasted and we are
Mm,
not even if you are discuss, talking about girls
mm.
you should learn something from it maybe
Did you talk
around
about girls?
yes we do
No, I
I
mean you.
talk about girls yeah with guys yes
Oh,
yeah
okay.
when we talk about girls so this lady and then we learn one or two things and yeah
Okay, so you talk to learn. Because I've never seen you as someone who just randomly talks about women.
no I talk about women I
You
talk about
do.
almost everything yeah football women everything even alcohol we talk
You've been lying to me, this is our friendship. Okay, so what is the most courageous thing that you can say that you've done? And I think that I've been able to get an answer, but I would like to hear from you
the most courageous
that most people don't really ascribe as courage. So for instance, the conversation about chemo, I think that
yeah,
was such a courageous thing.
I've never really thought about it as being courageous
Yeah, because
but it is
it
yeah
is courageous. It is
it is
very courageous.
yeah then also I think resigning from my first job when I had no job was
Mm.
courageous I don't know if it was courageous or stupid but I think I was also in that way where I was tired
Yeah.
and I needed
For somebody who easily resigns from a job without having another job, I would tell you it's very courageous.
yeah
I don't know about any other person what they would say, but I would say it's very
yeah
courageous.
then I think the other courageous one was when I resigned from the BBC to Mdundo to
Mm,
be honest I didn't know what so when I was vexed, when someone annoys me in the office because
mm,
I was working with different teams, when these teams get me pissed, I
mm.
just go on LinkedIn, I just do it easy apply. For me, that was therapy.
That's hilarious.
Yeah, and then they'll call me for it, I'm like, I'm not interested.
When your head has calmed down.
But when I'm pissed, I just go, "Hmm, apply, easy apply, pack, 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 pack." So that was how I'm doing the happen.
uh,
So I had applied,
mm,
and then they emailed me, what company in Kenya emailed me?
mm,
Initially, I'm like, I'm not interested in this.
mm,
Even my CEO to today says it says he's still not sure how Michael applied because the role was not for Nigeria. They were not even thinking of recruiting in Nigeria. He was not there. I
mm,
was the first Nigeria full-time staff. But one
mm.
random dude from Lagos, Nigeria, just
When he was
applied for a Kenya job,
angry.
and then he spoke to me
Yeah.
and was like, he looked at my CV, he looked at my LinkedIn profile. Okay,
Mm,
good. BBC, he saw it. Then he spoke to me like, okay. Then I got the job. Guess what? He had to fly to Lagos for the
mm.
first time to be sure I am real. I'm not a scam. He brought. I remember when I saw him at Proto Hotel. He came with just one bag, one strap, one bag. His first time in Nigeria. He had never been to Nigeria. He just flew to have a meeting and to
Wow.
be sure. This dude, are you for real? Because I will be working remotely. I'll be the only staff in Nigeria, and he's giving me management role. Okay, he needs to fly to that Nigeria. And since then, he appreciated my work ethics and all, and then
Mm,
started saying, "Oh, trainers are really good." And
mm.
then we hired maybe close to 15. Yeah,
Nigerian.
we even have a Nigerian office now
Yeah.
in VI.
I think that you don't give yourself enough credit. I've recruited and I've been recruited.
Mm.
And I know that for me to see somebody whose experience matches a role,
Mm.
it's a big deal, number one.
Mm-hmm.
The next big deal is I then have an interview with you, and I'm like, oh, you're actually real. Like, oh, you're not just real, but you're actually good. Like, you didn't just, you put a fit in the fight, just, and they're like, oh, I can see a fit. And I'll drag you in, and I'm like, oh, you're actually a warrior. Like, I can tell that you're a warrior. And then he flew all the way to a country he's never been just
No.
to confirm that you're a real person and you're really good at what you're saying you're going to do.
Yeah,
You don't give yourself enough credit,
it
Michael.
flew to okay, okay, you are real. Okay. This dude is real.
Because you've worked with them for over like 4 years.
4 years, yeah. Yeah. Yeah, and also I mean I and we're also in charge of the users. I mean we've grown
I
significantly.
mean, it's good.
Yeah, we're happy about I mean, yeah.
Increase the volume of your voice.
Yeah, yeah.